Our Hebrew Israelites, brothers and sisters, 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the earth. Welcome back. This is your Moray, Dr. Yeshua. I want to take this moment, my brothers and my sisters, to say thank you again. Thank you. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your prayers. And let me say this to those of you, there are about 4 or 5 of my subscribers that have sent gifts from time to time. And I want to say thank you. A couple of you, I want to call your name, but I don't think you want me to call your name on the air. Okay? I only have basically 2 email addresses. 2 email addresses. I can talk to you in the comment section, but a personal email, just email me at drjosh4319@gmail.com. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so I just want to say how much I appreciate you, love you, and you know, this is a season where everybody is basically running crazy, you know, and if you're not in with it, you know, they said, you know, you're something. My brother, my sister, they've been saying I'm something for the last couple of years because basically I try, you know, I try to stay away from, you know, this paganistic thing. After, you know, I found out way back in my early years that it was paganism. Of course, when I was a pastor, you know, all the members of the church were doing it. And so because I was, you know, a Christian at the time, I converted to Christianity. You know, my brothers, my sisters, let me say this, that, you know, a lot of things that went, you know, that I have to turn around and say, look, Yahuwah, I am so sorry for leading the people astray. But at that time, you know, I don't know why I did it. But I know that Christmas was a pagan holiday, even though I didn't really celebrate it that much. I did it a couple of times for my kids, and then I said, look, and I'll be telling them, I did it to give a story, to tell them, say, look, this is not true. This is just a tradition of people, you know, because they always ask, Daddy, why are you not giving us a Christmas tree? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing? And so that was to give them an object lesson. Okay, and but after they learn it, I stopped doing it. And, you know, and my brothers and sisters, I am so grateful for the opportunity that I'm able to share. Anyone ask me question regarding, you know, Christmas, I can share with them, you know, that Yahuwah did born, but not on the day that they're celebrating. And then the way the things are, they're making it a buying and selling, and the store is stocked, you know, and is not referring to him. If it was basically say, look, you know, we don't have the exact date he was born, right? We know that he was born right after Feast of Tabernacle during that time. If, my brothers and my sisters, if all the people who were celebrating was remembering truly, have a full understanding of, there's no way in the scripture that said we have to, you know, celebrate his birth. No way. In Matthew, it says you shall call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sin. They talk about the story of his birth. But let me tell you something. Like I said, it was not on Christmas. It was, December time is, my brother and my sister, December time is cold. Snow. Okay? At that time of the year. And no shepherd going to be out there in the cold, in the snow. The sheep don't eat snow. They eat grass, they eat hay. And no shepherd going to be out there sitting in the snow. It had to be a night, either late summer or early fall. when it was still warm. Okay? All right. So I just want to say this. When you celebrate, make sure you're celebrating the right thing. Make sure you're celebrating the right thing. So we thank Yahuwah for the opportunity He has given us. And so, if you notice, last 2 weeks, we have stopped in Psalm 34, and I think verse 18, where we stopped. And we were dealing basically with, we're dealing with a plea for deliverance, or thanksgiving for deliverance. Okay? But we stopped there for 2 weeks, and we dealt with Judaism. So we did about 6 sessions on Judaism, the founding and the beliefs of Judaism. And so if you have not seen it, then you need to go back and look for those sessions and refresh your memory and them and learn. And my brothers and sisters, let me tell you another thing that I am doing. Every time I get the opportunity to share, about who we are as Hebrew Israelite people, I share it. And more finding people, when I mention it, sometimes I just mention it and people call me and send me a text or whatever and ask me to explain more because they want to know more. So I did quite a few of that the last couple of weeks. Please, my brothers and sisters, this is a way of sharing it. This is a way of sharing. This is a way of helping this channel too. Just direct them to this channel so they can learn. They can learn. My brothers and sisters, let me say this. There are so many people out there that are saying that they're Hebrew Israelites. And mark you, while they are descendants, they are not awakened. So what we need to do is to work towards getting people to the point where they become awakened, understanding what Yahuwah said in His word. There are many unawakened Hebrew Israelite people in the Christian church, in the Catholic church, in the Muslim faith, in Baha'i faith, in a lot of these different, religion. A lot of unawakened Israelite people. Now, let me say this again. That if you go to New York, Philadelphia, LA, especially in the Inglewood area, you're going to find a lot of people standing on the corner, okay, wearing all kind of outfits, some in blue and red, some in different types, and the Bible is in one hand, okay, and different people reading the scripture and one person preaching and teaching, right? And at the same time, while he's preaching and teaching from the Bible, you'll hear them using profanity. You will hear them using profanity. And not only that they're using profanity, but they're threatening people. If you don't believe what they said, they threaten you. If you don't agree totally with what they said, they threaten you. They say all kind of things, and they pull it on, they embarrass you. So a lot of people standing there and looking, and people who have experienced that, they just keep walking. They don't stop. My brothers, my sisters, my kind of Hebrew Israelite background is not that. I wasn't brought up like that. My parents were. Okay, they used to call themselves Sabbath keeper or commandment keeper. And so then that's the name of the fellowship was. I was brought up in that kind of setting. They were messianic. And some of them said Jesus, and some say, YAHUAH or Yahweh. Okay? But my brothers and sisters, we were not brought up like that. And no true Hebrew Israelite gonna have the Bible and then cursing and threatening people. In 2020, I decided to stop teaching, and I'm going to go drive trucks. So I went to truck driving school. And there one or two students from the LA area. And they're part of an organization. I'm not even going to call the name because you don't know the name. But they go to Africa, they go to Caribbean islands and different places, you know, teaching. They use Jesus. Okay, every now and then you say they use, you know, a Hebrew name for God or so. And let me tell you, see, if you haven't been to a truck driving school, you know. A truck driving school is like being around people in the army, especially enlisted people, and like around the drill sergeant, who are not believers. They curse, they use profanity, they use all kinds of words. And so the people were using a lot of curse words. There's probably about 20 or more people were there, and 8 of them were dark-skinned African American. You know, I was the only person there that was from the Caribbean island, but still American, naturalized American. And they cursed, and I heard him cursing. So I went to him, I said, man, you're going to Africa, and you're going to Jamaica and different places, and you're teaching and having opening a meeting and inviting people to come to the Messiah, and you're acting like that. You know what he told me? He said, no word is bad. It's based on how you use it. My brothers, my sisters, the scripture said we should not allow profane babbling out of our mouth. We cannot use the same mouth to praise Yahuwah, to give him honor and glory and to thank him, and then use the same mouth to use profane babblings. We cannot do that. We are called to be holy. We are called to be set apart. My brothers, my sisters. Some of us grab the cigarette and the cigar. We are putting stuff in our body that the scripture said our bodies are the temple of the Ruach, of the Akadesh. Our bodies are the temple of the Akadesh. And at the same time, my brothers, my sisters, do you know that Yahuwah lives in you? Yahuwah lives in you. When you ask him to come into your life, when you ask him to take control of your life, my brothers, my sisters, he lives in you. I want to draw an illustration of what I'm talking about. I want to draw an illustration of what I am talking about. And I am looking for a pen, and I cannot find a pen. But I want to give you an illustration, my brothers and sisters. Just bear with me. I am going to give you an illustration. When I say that Yahuwah lives in us. I want you to understand what I mean by that. Okay. I am going to draw you an illustration. Okay. I want us to look at this from this standpoint. I'm going to draw a chair here. Okay. So this, I hope you can see. This is the chair. So call it a throne, right? Call it you. So all of this within this circle is you. Right? All right. So when we ask Yahuwah and Yahushua in our lives, right? He comes and he takes up residence and he sits on the throne. Just as so he sits here. Right? Where are we now? This is us right here. But we are not sitting on the throne. He is sitting on the throne. And so, we in it. This is us, right here. This is where we are. So he's in our lives. This represents the throne, the center of our life, where he sits. Okay? And he sits there and he rules from there. We talk about heaven. He is where his heaven is said his throne is on earth is his footstool. So wherever is that? But right here, because he lives in us and is everywhere at the same time. So now, if we messed up and we chase him off at the throne, so he's not here anymore, he's in our lives, but he's not sitting on the center of our lives. He's not the center of our attraction anymore. Now what happened? We take up over and we want to sit on our own throne. We want to manage our lives. We want to do what we want to do. So, what happened? Eventually, we kept messing around, sinning and grieving him to the point where he said, look, I love him, but I cannot be in his life anymore because I'm not the center of the throne. I am outside. So he's outside of the circle now. He's not communicating with you. He's not communing with you. Why? Because we deliberately decided that we don't want him to be the center of our lives, and we chase him out by doing the things that is not conducive, the thing that's unholy. So, he can be in your life, but he's not on the center. He's not sitting on the throne of your life. There's a song that is saying about, Lord of my life, I crown thee now. Thine shall the glory be. All right. If we're going to crown him, and he have to sit on his throne. This is the throne of our lives. This is why the scripture says, sin shall not have dominion over us. Because we're not under the law of, you know what you talk about, the law of sin and death. We're not under that law anymore. We're under the law, the moral law of Yahuwah. We're not under the ceremonial law, where we go offer sacrifices and that kind of thing, because Yahushua did that for us. But we are under the moral law. The 10 Commandments, His precepts, His statutes, those are not gone. And so, my brother, there should be in our hearts to help to guide us. So we know what is right and what is wrong. So we want to keep him, we want to keep Yahushua and YAHUAH. We want to keep them on the throne. We want to keep them center place right here on the throne of our lives. When we fail to keep him on the throne, he's off the throne and he's circling around in here. He's in our life, but he's not in control. When he's on the throne, my brothers and my sisters, he has full control. All right. So, in Psalm 34, we're going to try to see where we can go with that. We have a few verses to finish. We have from verse 17 through 22 to finish that psalm. So Psalm 34 and verse 17 is Sadi. You remember we say it's an acrostic poem, okay? And each verse has a Hebrew letter of the alphabet, okay? So Sadi is the word. This is what it said here in verse 17. The righteous cry, and YAHUAH hears and deliver them out of all their troubles. My brothers and sisters, when we cry to YAHUAH, he's not deaf. He's so close. He's in our hearts, in our lives. He's in us. He's in heaven and he's in us. It's how big he is, how great he is. He can be everywhere at the same time. He's omniscient. He's omnipresent. He's omnipotent. That's who he is. So when we cry to him, he hears us. And he said he delivers us, not from some of our fears, our troubles. He delivers us from all our troubles, whatever our troubles are. As long as we're walking in his footsteps, as long as we're pleasing him, my brothers and my sisters. Don't expect to go out there and get mixed up with all kind of evil. And then you run and come asking, he doesn't work like that. Hear what he said? Is righteous. The person who has right standing. The person who practices justice. He hears and YAHUAH delivers them. I want the word here there is the word Shama. Shama Yisrael. YAHUAH or Eloheinu Echad. YAHUAH or Eloheinu Echad. That means YAHUAH is one. He hears. It's a we have to hear, listen attentively, Israel. Shama. And so the word there to hear, YAHUAH hears us. And my brothers and sisters, we got to listen attentively. We have to gather together. We have to carefully, we have to be certain that we are walking in his footsteps. Consider, my brothers and sisters, that it comes from a root word to hear intelligently. That YAHUAH hears us when we call. The implication here is basically obedience. We are obedient to him. And so when we call to him, my brothers and sisters, there's no problem. He's going to hear us. He's going to be attentive to our cry. He's going to hear us, my brothers and sisters. And you know what he's going to consider? Oh, I know, he's my child. He's been serving me, been doing the right thing. And I am going to help him. And before you finish praying, my brothers and my sisters, the answer is almost there. Sometimes you have to pray and wait a little bit, okay? Sometimes you have to pray and wait a little bit. But he give ear to you You know, and he discerns, he's able to tell, my brothers and sisters, you know, and you know, indeed, he listens. All kind of noises around us, when we call, is still listen. Because he can tell all the people of the earth calling on him at the same time and asking for a request. He knows and he sees it. Praise his holy name. He perceives it, my brothers and sisters. And he proclaims it and he publishes it in his word. He said here, he said, the righteous cry unto Yahuwah, and he heareth them. He gives regard to it. He shows forth, my brothers and sisters, you know, so you understand whatsoever, you know, you understand. And then listen to what he said here. Not only that he hears, right, but he delivers. Oh my goodness. The word deliver here is natsal. Natsal, the Hebrew word natsal. And it's Nun, Sadi, and Lamed. Natsal. Of course, you know, I don't want to fail to tell you that the three Hebrew consonants here, they have the notation, the vowels notation inside of them to tell you, you know. So natsal is to strip or to plunder or to deliver, you know, to deliver one, to be delivered, to snatch away, you know, to deliver, basically, to deliver. That's what it is, to snatch away or to deliver. And so Yahuwah, you know, he delivers us when you know, we have problems and difficulties, you know, things that we can't bear. He's going to come through and he's going to find a way out for us, you know. He defends us, you know, deliver ourselves, you know, so he helps us to escape, you know, and he does it without fail, my brothers and sisters. You know, in the scripture, Yahushua said, all the Father gives me shall come to me, and he that comes to me, I will know, you know, why it's cast out. And then he continues to say, and no man can pluck them out of my hand. Okay, so to pluck you out of someone is to basically fight, you know, you know, a lot of resistance, trying to take you away, you know, and so nobody can do that. The root word to snatch away, whether in a good sense or a bad sense, you know, it basically to defend or to deliver you. You know, so you escape without fail. Praise his holy name. He preserves you and you know, he recovers you. You know, and you remember the story? Way back, it has come to my mind. It was not a part of my Bible study, right? But it just to tell you how the rock work in your mind, okay? The thought has come to me about Abraham and his nephew Lot. Okay, when the two different countries was fighting, and then one captured the other country, he went on there and he delivered Lot. You know what? Because he was taken as hostage, and he went and he delivered him. You know, so that's preserve, to recover, to rescue, you know, so like Lot was caught. It was like a spoil, you know, to the other country. He stripped them and then take them away, you know. Praise his holy name. And you know, after he was coming back from that slaughter, you remember the scripture say he stopped to visit with Melchizedek, the priest of the Most High, you know, of Salem, and give him gifts from the spoil that you know, from that war. It's awesome. It's an awesome thing. Praise his holy name. And in verse 18, he said, Yahuwah is nigh. That and verse 18 has the Hebrew letter starting it out as cough, 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 cough. You know, and he said Yahuwah is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart. Okay, and saveth such as of a contrite spirit. So the word broken heart here, Yahuwah is nigh. That means it's close by. It's right there, my brothers and sisters. It's in the present. It's present. Okay? And the word broken here is a shabar. Shabar. And what it's talking about is some, you know, your heart is broken. It's break. It's like breaking in pieces. Oh my goodness, you know, and so all of this break down or to break off in pieces. We talk about a broken heart, you know. We talk about a broken heart. When my father passed away, the doctor told me that he died of a broken heart, and I kept wondering. I said, "What in the world was on his mind?" And I said, "Oh, okay, now, okay, I understand. I know exactly what's going on." And when I talk with a couple of the nurses, and especially the head nurse, and they were telling me that all his life he provided for his family. No one had to give him anything. He's always giving people things. But when the hurricane came and blew his house out, it was so massive, and he has to get a place to stay. Someone have to give him somewhere to stay. My brothers and sisters, that is what took him out. He was sick from that hurricane thing. That took him out. But praise his name. I know that he knew Yahweh. All right. So the broken heart there is like someone, and I could imagine, he had the idea of being crushed or being destroyed or to burst. The literal meaning there. I've looked back at the word. Is the consonants that make it. The word is shin, bait, and resh, and it's because the word is shabar. Okay, so shin, bait, and resh, and what is saying there, my brothers and sisters, is that it has to do with the idea of being burst, something busted. You know, figuratively, to break down or to break off in pieces. Broken heart. To bring to the birth, or to crush, or to destroy, or to hurt, or to quench, to tear. Sometimes happen by mistake. Sometimes we mistake the word for sabar instead of shabar. You know, but it is quite a word, you know. And sometimes, you know, we have to understand this. The proverb said, search your heart. Search your heart, for in them are the issues of life. Even that I did not put it in here. I just know that verse, and it just come to me. Just no, it was not part of my studies. I just want to share that with you, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to ask you to be a blessing to someone and walk with the King. Shalom.